Battlers, I am back. Welcome to another episode of the Knighted Podcast Roster Review Edition. Well, Roster Review Edition is all about breaking down the squad and making sure everything is in the right place, Battlers, exactly like our mates do at Above and Beyond Construction and Developments. Whether it's fixing up your home or building something brand new, they'll make sure there are no weak links in your lineup. And you know what the best part is? It's as easy as A, B, C. So if you need quality construction work that will not leave you second guessing, hit up our mates at Above and Beyond Construction and Development, because they will go above and beyond for you and will not drop the ball. Well, Battlers, that's right. Tonight we'll be breaking down the Newcastle Knights hosting the Sydney Roosters without our boy Kalen Ponga away on origin duties. Can the Knights keep the momentum going after a resounding second half, after being booed off the field last week? Can they keep that going and secure back-to-back wins for the first time since round 1 and round 2 of this season? We'll see. The Roosters fresh off the bye, however, with 5 origin players missing for both New South Wales and Queensland. Phoenix Crossland named at lock. The Flying Mullet still at left centre. Razor Sharp out the back filling in for our boy Kalen Ponga. We'll be looking at our brand new segment, the Player Battle Matchup. We'll be taking a look at your grain-fed lock-it-ins as well as answering your burning questions. So, Battlers, sit back and get ready as we take a look at the Adam O'Briens and outs of this week's upcoming clash against the Roosters. Let's go! All right, first things first. This week now, we all know how much I hate the Broncos. The Broncos are very much hated in this household, and the Broncos are rebranding. Apparently, they put a trademark in for a brand new logo. Now, the logo is black and white, and I'm going to put my tin foil hat on here, Battlers. I have a theory. We all know the colour maroon no longer symbolizes anything to do with success. It's all about weakness, pathetic efforts, and failure. The colour maroon. Example 1, the Brisbane Broncos. The Brisbane Broncos haven't won jack shit in 20 years wearing the maroon. What happened to the Queensland Maroons at Suncorp Stadium? Game 1. They got absolutely flogged. Daly Cherry Evans, their skipper, boom, he's bounced. They're too scared to kick off to Spencer Leniu. Just reeks of weakness. Who else wears maroon? The Sea Eagles, who absolutely run riot on the Sea Eagles with a weak underbelly. That's right, the Sea Eagles. And to top it all off, the girls. The Queensland Maroons getting absolutely dominated by the Sky Blues. So I think the power brokers to be have dipped their toe in the waters. Again, tinfoil hat here. Those miraculous looking, I'll say that much. Those black jerseys look shit hot. It's the best the Broncos have ever looked. That's the only compliment I'll ever pay them. But I think they want to do away with the weakness and failure and disappointment that is the colour maroon, and they want to rebrand. They want to rebrand and align themselves with success. And who is successful? That's the All Blacks and the Penrith Panthers. They want to go black, baby. They want to go black, and they're not going back either. So my tinfoil hat conspiracy, maroon sucks and black is in. So stay tuned. Maybe the Broncos complete and utter rebrand. But on a serious note, they did look really good. I did really like it. It looked like the All Blacks, but geez, huge shout out for the Broncos. I did send them the boys of the Penalty Broncos podcast. I said, look, this is the one and only compliment I will ever pay the Brisbane Broncos is shout out for getting, I don't know how they did it, get those black jerseys across the line. They look absolutely schmick. A great cause too. Louise, you would also agree with me at how good those Bronco jerseys actually did look on the TV screen.
Yes. You know how I have my wardrobe is basically all black. So,
well, you're not getting one.
I know that.
I forbid that.
But we're saying that before we kick off, with it being Men's Mental Health Week, because that is why they were wearing the black jersey. I just want to acknowledge that it is Men's Mental Health Week. Someone close to me was struggling recently, and when I reached out to a few of his mates, they didn't hesitate. No awkwardness, just action. They showed up, and it reminded me how far we have come. Men's mental health matters, and it's so powerful seeing blokes look out for each other, not with pressure to be tough, but with care, honesty, and real support. If you're doing it tough, please know you're not alone. Lifeline's there 24/7 on 13 11 14. or you can reach Beyond Blue at 1300 22 46 36. Take care of each other now. Let's talk footy.
Great message. Good on you, Lou. Absolutely. Never been more paramount, that message. So, absolutely. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, first things first this week, brought to you by Newcastle Mixed Martial Arts, which is Newcastle's Lake Macquarie and the Hunters' highest rated mixed martial arts gym with more than 350 Google 5-star reviews. Beginners are welcomed and encouraged into their safe, inclusive, and most importantly, battlers' fun training center. Head coach Jess Landry's experience includes being directly trained by UFC veterans, as also with our opposition, let's hope he hasn't done his job this week, the wrestling coach for the Sydney Roosters. Newcastle Mixed Martial Arts is centrally located in Cardiff, right beside the Cardiff train station, offering day and night classes for kids, teens, and adults, including Muay Thai kickboxing, gi and no-gi, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and mixed martial arts. So make sure you go book your free trial by visiting their website at newcastlemma.com.au. Now, can I just I'm just going to go off script here for a little bit, Lou. How good is the new set looking? One of two new sets. I wanted to change shit up. I didn't want to park my bum on the couch anymore. I wanted to get up and about, and I feel it.
Christopher has said like the new location link.
Thanks, Linc. Thanks, Linc. Well, thank me. But yeah, no, absolutely, Christopher. The roster review shows are going to be on this set, and then I'm going to be bouncing back after we get the win on a Sunday. Going to be doing the match rewind over in the bar. Night's watch is going to be prime time on the couch there. All right, so changing things up, keeping it fresh and new. You can have a look at all the knickknacks and other bits and pieces instead of my handsome face each week.
Lindsay said another corner of the bar looking good.
I've got the greatest rugby league sports bar on the planet. Let's use it. Yeah, let's use it. So appreciate that, guys. All right, battlers, if you're enjoying the show, and even if you aren't enjoying the show, I don't know if you weren't enjoying the show, we do get a couple of people who take the piss out of me. Tell you what, if you're liking the show or not, do your boy a favor, all right? Hit that thumbs up if you are watching the live stream right now. And if you are listening to the podcast, make sure you leave your boy a big old 5-star review. It helps more than you will ever know, battlers. Make sure you're following us on all social media platforms, X, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever fucking platform you waste your time on, we'll be there. Because every like, follow, share, everything all adds up, and it does go a long, long way to help support us here at the Night. And now also, if you didn't get the memo, here's another memo for you. There's a good reason why you do want to be following us. Now, battlers, I'm giving away some sexy retro Newcastle Knights kit now. To win this said kit, we're going to kick it off. The 1997 Premier shirt. Okay, this thing is Mickey Mouse. You will never look better. All right, I'm giving away that. That's one. Number two, you're going to get the grand final T-shirt. We all know the one, the Cartoon Knight, probably the best rugby league T-shirt ever made. Let's be honest. That's going to be yours. And to round it all off, your boy's going to be hooking you up with a nice clean skin, 3/4 sleeve, V-neck, fresh as fuck Newcastle Knights jersey, just to top it off, just because I'm such a nice bloke. Now, if you want to go on the running for that, battlers, 3 easy steps. You're going to go find us on YouTube. You're going to subscribe that. You're going to smash that subscribe button like you're a bloody Broncos 5'8" hitting an Uber. And then you're going to go across. You're going to go across to Spotify. You're going to follow us there. And then you're nearly there, battlers. You're so close. Might as well climax and hit that 5-star review button. Leaves a big old 5-star review here at the United. That's it. 3 easy steps. And you go on the running to look the best you will ever look. Trust me. If you're a single person or you think you're ugly, I'll hook you up with that. You'll be a 10 out of 10 in no time.
Tony's just said, keep waiting for someone to knock on that window behind you like a horror film.
Oh, jump scares.
No joke. I keep thinking that too.
Yeah.
But you know what it looks like? I've never realized. It looks like a Macca's window.
A Macca's window. Yeah, I could probably serve stuff out there. True. I might be interviewing. You might see Robbie O or Adam O'Brien or something pop their head through there one day. You never know. You never know. All right, let's do it, battlers. Let's jump into this weekend's game. No United news this week, so we get to skip past that. We're blazing head first into this week's game. Let's kick it off with the spine for the Newcastle Knights. And as I said before, razor sharp, out of the halves, back into fullback. Really no surprise there. Here is the big one, name it number 6, returning for the first time since July 2024. Our boy Jackson Hastings is back in the side. Lou, I've never seen you do cartwheels in your life, and I caught her doing cartwheels. 4:00 this afternoon, couldn't be stopped. You were stoked.
There were no cartwheels, but I had a look at myself in the mirror before we came on, and I'm channeling Slim Shady. So I
shot.
started singing Guess Who's Back?
One shot, one opportunity.
Back again.
So Jackson Hastings is going to be a huge talking point shortly. Jack Cogger wearing the number 7 this week, and Jaden Brayley, the McDonald's thick shake machine. He finds himself off the bench and into the starting hooker role, moving across to our opposition. James Tedesco will be the fullback for the Roosters, with Hugo Savala and Sam Walker returning for the first time since his round 13 clash against the Rabbitohs last year, coming back from an ACL injury. He comes back for his first NRL appearance for the season. And young hooker Benai Uelu for the Roosters in what will be his third NRL appearance for the Roosters. Now, battlers, what is going to be an absolutely huge part of tonight's show is Jackson Hastings. Very divisive figure. I feel like, Lou, you're either in one corner or the other. And I want to give a little bit of I'm going to go on a bat for our boy Jacko. You all know I love our boy Jackson Hastings. And after this segment, I feel like a lot of battlers are just going to go, you know what, Linc? I swear I turn so many people that are pessimistic bastards or whatever. I feel like I can win them over. I feel like I'd be a really good negotiator. So hear me out on this one, battlers. Now, this week, what was I saying about Tyson Frizzell last week? Had to be Tyson's team, set the example, blah, 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 blah. Well, this week it's Jackson Hastings. And all of you sitting there going, Linc, you're fucking crazy. He hasn't played in this team since July. Round 2024. I was actually there. I can't believe it was that horrible fucking game in Newcastle against the Broncos. Windy as shit, terrible conditions. That was the last time Jacko played first grade for the Knights. Our captain in our New South Wales Cup team, 18th man last week. But I tell you what, this week needs to be Jackson Hastings week. And I'll tell you why. The huge upside to Jackson Hastings playing this week, again, much like last week, we've got a lot of injury, a lot of young guys playing. Well, who has played more games? Who has played more games with your boy Fletcher Hunt? Elijah, Tommy Cant, McEwen, and Matty Arthur, who's also named. Our boy Jackson Hastings. He's going to, if there's anyone who can bring these young guys into the game, it's going to be your boy Jacko. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of criticism saying, oh, he hasn't got the speed, blah, 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 blah. Speed has never been Jackson Hastings' game. Never built on speed. Never been a speedster. But I'll tell you what he's going to bring. He's going to bring that cool head. He's going to be a commanding presence on the field and the kicking game. The kicking game for the Newcastle Knights is something that's been lacking. Well, I tell you now, battlers. I tell you now, if you're going to ever have a punt on a game, go take a look at some of the try-assists your boy Jackson Hastings is hooked Fletcher Hunt up with. There is going to be a lot going on that left edge with Fletcher Hunt and your boy Jackson Hastings. So as I was saying, some of these young guys, who's played with them the most? It's going to be your boy Jackson Hastings, all right? So I'm expecting a really good kicking game from Jacko, and it needs to be his team because Jack Cogger, huge shout out to Cogs last week. Watching the game back, it wasn't Jack Cogger's team. You know, it was the Razor Sharp and Kalen Ponga show. And I felt like what did he do so well in the 2023 grand final? He took a back seat. He took a back seat to Nathan Cleary, let him steer the ship and do his thing. And he was just a great supporting actor. Who are some of the great supporting actors that have won Oscars? I can't think of one.
I don't watch the Oscars.
Yeah, me neither. Academy Awards is my strong suit, but Jack Cogger could be one of the great supporting actors this week. So I think that's what needs to happen. And I know that's some of you that are going to Linc, you're fucking crazy, mate. This guy hasn't played in this team for nearly 12 months. Well, I'm telling you, this is what needs to be because it's going to be a completely different style of attack. What was I saying last week? The dual running threats, keeping the Manly singles very lateral. You know, you got KP left, Razor right. You haven't got that anymore. You have not got that any longer. So the halves, and I'll tell you what Jackson Hastings is really good at. I think he was 5th in the NRL last year with line engaged. So he likes to get there nice and deep, give his inside, outside man as much space as he possibly can before getting the ball out and do what he needs to do. So you guarantee the game plan is going to try and get your boy Razor in some really good shape. But also, if we can't win that battle through the middle, well, I feel like Jacko is going to do really, really well getting his men inside and out, whether it's quick play the ball, early ball to his center, whoever it may be. And yeah, just a real good kicking game. Again, that link up between Fletcher Hunt and Jacko, look out. I'm sure Trent Robinson has been doing plenty of film. If Trent Robinson's watching this now, I hope he isn't, but I'm sure he would have done a lot of homework and seen the little combo that Fletcher Hunt and Jackson Hastings come up with.
Justin said, Linc, you're crazy, but you make sense.
Mate, I'm telling you, I'm a great negotiator. I really should be a salesman. I could fucking sell anything, I reckon. But no, in all seriousness, trust me, the keys have got to be handed over to your boy Jackson Hastings. It's got to be his team this week, and that's what needs to happen. Okay, that's what needs to happen. He hasn't got KP out there, so Cogs has got to take that back seat, keep doing what he was doing last week, and just let Jacko bring these young guys in and do what they need to do, especially Matty Arthur, And then, as I said, Fletcher Hunt. There's a reason why Fletcher Hunt got named this week. A few weeks ago, was what he was doing in Cup. And he probably wouldn't be doing that unless it was for your boy Jacko doing what he was doing. So there's going to be some really good synergy there, I think, from those two guys. Jaden Brayley, I love. And do you know what? This might be a hot take. You might agree with me again. I think regardless of injury, I know we'll get to Crossland in a minute, I would have started Jaden Brayley regardless. I think Jaden Brayley's form is so fucking good at the moment. He starts. I kept saying it the last couple of weeks. I know late in the Dragons game, he sort of got the attack going where it needed to go. Last week, I thought he was sensational, playing bigger minutes, 52 minutes compared to the 30-odd he was playing previously to that. I would just start him. I kind of think he's leapfrogged. I don't think Crossland's playing poorly, but I just feel like the way the attack's evolving and needs to be, I really think Brails is the guy. I think he's playing in some really good form at the moment, especially if we can start playing some eyes up, fast football. He's the guy. Picks and chooses his moments really, really well. I would have been starting him regardless, but he's going to be your starting hooker this week. Anyways, Razor Sharp. There's not much I can say about Razor. He just keeps doing his thing. If there's going to be a break, half a sniff, something going on, either edge of the field, I guess that's the upside this week. He's not going to be parked on one side. You're going to be able to see him play both sides. You just know he's going to give himself every opportunity. I kept saying, Razor isn't a lucky player. He's just a fucking hardworking player, and he's fast, he's elusive, he's got high footy IQ. So he's just going to get himself in spaces and spots he needs to be. So anyways, that's enough about the Newcastle Knights spine this week. Now, moving across to the Roosters. Now, James Tedesco, he is going to be the dude. And that's because you got Sam Walker coming back. Let's hope and pray. First of all, he has a really clunky game. Again, he hasn't played since over a year in first grade, round 13. So nearly a year, a little bit over a year to the day. Like most players, they don't kind of hit the ground running straight away, coming off that. Going to take a bit of confidence in that knee and the rest of it, what they call it, game fitness and all that kind of shit, the combos. And he's got some new, Bene Ulalu as well, 2 NRL games, hasn't played with him before. So it's going to be a little clunky there. Young Hugo Savala, he's been a bit of a shining light in the absence of some of these guys. He's sort of been doing a job for them in the spine, but Teddy has just been there and done that shit so many times, and he's having a bit of a renaissance after sort of being omitted from the State of Origin team with some, up and down form. He's found some really good form at the moment, Teddy. So you can guarantee he is going to be doing his thing. He's going to be quite different to Razor. Razor's going to pick and choose his moments, but you can guarantee Teddy is going to be sniffing around that ball like a dog with a bone. All right, he's going to be in and around, sniffing around. So Adam O'Brien, he'll be one of probably the target. Got to shut down, give him no space to your boy James Tedesco. So, all right, let's move along to the outside backs for the Newcastle Knights. We have our boy, the Schiller Instinct. He's off the left centre. He's back in right wing with your boy Dane Gagai. Fletcher Hunt, he keeps his spot. What an absolute massive rap for Fletcher Hunt, playing in that left centre spot once more with your boy Greggy Marzu, the G-Train on the left wing. Moving across to the Roosters, you have the ever-reliable Daniel Tupou on the left wing with Billy Smith partnered up, the young specialist centre there. On the right wing, Mark Nwanga Nitawase, the young rugby convert who's been absolutely dominating the headlines at the moment, filling in back at centre. So he's come from the wing for Robert Toy, so he's playing centre this week. Dominic Young. Let's hope and pray this is the last time we ever see Dominic Young playing any other colours than Newcastle Knights colours. I tell you what, don't the rugby league gods just, I feel like they can be very generous and fucking cruel at the same time. They're going, you know what, before he makes his way to the Hunter, just one last time, these sadistic bastards like, nah, we're going to play him against the Knights. So let's pray to Christ that he has an absolute shocker. He knows who's going to be paying his wage for the next couple of years, and he has an absolute Barry Crocker. But yes, moving along now to the outside backs of the Newcastle Knights. One thing I do want to talk about is cleaning up the errors. Now, the error count for the Newcastle Knights, the top 20 error makers in the comp, the Newcastle Knights, unfortunately, have 4 of them. 4 in the top 20. I know one of them's not playing at the moment for this week, but your boy, Kalen Pong, he's second overall with 23. Gags is 8th overall with 17. The G-Train 13th with 16. And your boy Schiller, he's 18th on 15 errors. So we've got to clean that up. Have to clean it up because completion rate's been up and down a little bit, but we need to get that better. I feel like if we can complete really high, we can fucking beat this team. We can absolutely beat this team. Because you're sitting there and going, Linc, the Newcastle Knights, the completion rate hasn't been great. It hasn't been great. We're actually 16th in the NRL. But there's 17 fucking clubs. Who's beneath us? You fucking guessed it. The Sydney Roosters, dead last in completion. They are fucking terrible. But with that being said, they can before the bye when they got beaten by the Raiders, they completed at 63% and still managed to put 24 points on the Raiders. Took it right to them, went right down the edge. 26-24, they got beat. So even though they complete pretty poorly, they do have points in them. They absolutely have points in them. But that'll certainly be a focus for Trent Robinson. Talking to some Roosters supporters, they were saying if they feel like if they can complete high, they win the game. Well, it's an old rugby league trope, really, isn't it? But same thing for us. I feel like we complete really high. We give ourselves every chance. We've got the strike to do it. Defensively, the Roosters, where do I have later here in my notes? The Roosters have certainly not been great when it comes to defense. The most points the Newcastle Knights have leaked in a game thus far was to the Sharks, 34 points. The Roosters, on the flip side, ran one against the Broncos, a big 50 burger. So fucking rule them out of winning a comp this year. 32 points to the Panthers, 30 to the Titans, 40 points to the Panthers again, 46 to the Dragons, 36 to the Dolphins. So they've leaked an extra 62 points in the first 14 rounds of the competition. So, yeah, they do have that in them. I feel like defensively we are a much better football team. We aren't certainly getting blown off the park with those sort of numbers. But yeah, we complete high, we can win the game. And they're a team that's notoriously have not completed quite as well as we. A lot of people, battlers tuning going, fuck, I didn't think they were that bad. They have been that bad.
I just noticed it says Knights versus Roosters.
Oh, it does too. It does. I was thinking roster. You're right too. Well, technically, it is a roster. It's just not a plural. There you go. 10 points. Who scored that first? There you go. Your boys made a typo. What an idiot. What an idiot. Oh, I was close enough. Now, talking about the outside backs also for the Roosters. The Roosters, their right side is absolutely their most dominant side. You got Rob Toyer, who's usually there. Obviously, he's picked up an Origin jersey, so he's in some red-hot form. And Mark Nawanga-Nitawase as well. He's been in some absolutely sensational form. That right edge, absolutely dominating their attack. 50% of all their tries are coming along that right edge. So 25 of 50 tries, all along that right edge. Only 36% on the left and a mere 7% in the middle. So they're going to be funneling everything. I know Rob Toyer ain't there. They still got Marky Mark sitting there. We all know what our boy Dom Young can do. So your boy Fletcher Hunt, the flying mullet, and Greggy Marzu are going to have to be on point. Now, I think it's worth noting. Isn't it funny? You got 2 blokes on the field, one excellent under the high ball, and you got the other bloke who's fucking not great. He's bang average under the high ball. Well, I'll tell you what they're going to do. They're probably going to be your bum hole's going to be clenched every time they're going to be trying to, shape left to kick right or put the bomb up. You can guarantee they're going to be flicking the boys over. You're going to have probably, towards the end of the play, you're just going to put Fletch on the wing. And he's going to try and cover that shit because you're guaranteed they're going to try and target your boy Greggy Marzu. So Fletcher Hunt's going to be looking after his boy G-Train. Take all those high balls, try and take all that pressure off because we all know what he can do under the high balls. So just keep that in mind whenever you're starting to see that. Hopefully Fletcher Hunt comes to the rescue of the G-Train. He can relax a little bit there. All right, let's move along to the forwards. For the Newcastle Knights, our boy, Mr. Foot Fetish, Dylan Lucas finds himself on the left edge. Kai Pearce-Paul, after an absolutely monumental game last week. Let's hope he brings more of that energy this week. Matty Croker finds himself back at starting prop once more out of 13 jersey. Mr. Naitani and Brodie Jones also locking that up in the middle there, prop forward. And Phoenix Crossland, out of the hooker roll, into the lock, common away. Let me know what you think there. We'll get to our boy Phoenix in a second. The forwards for the Sydney Roosters, you have Egan Butcher coming in now, Angus Crichton obviously on Blues duties, C.Y. Wong, Nafua White coming in for Lindsay Smith. So he's just returned from a knee injury. He'll come in, though, and take that vacated spot from Lindsay Smith. Faweki, another young prop, only 9 NRL games for the Roosters, and Victor, the inflictor, Radley, locking down the middle. Dill Lucas been a little bit quiet the last couple of games after, we all know the lofty heights he kind of sets game in, game out. Probably more so to do with that clunk, the left edge, because the right edge has been absolutely fucking on fire. How many times earlier in the year did I said, I don't give a shit if it's predictable? At that point in time, the right looked terrible. It was clunky as all hell. So just funnel fucking everything through the left. I don't care how predictable it is. Just fucking keep going that way. Well, I feel like the script has flipped a little bit. The right edge has sort of been taking a bulk of it ever since late in that Dragons game when they were cutting them to pieces there. We all know what happened last week. Gags and KPP just fucking absolutely torching the Seagulls in that second half. So I feel like it's probably he's fell victim to that. They're sort of leaning into that a little bit more. And particularly Razor being parked on that side helped as well. But yeah, we all know what our boy Dylan Lucas can do. Just a couple of quiet games. Weren't poor games whatsoever. Just probably just didn't have his opportunities like he usually has. Kai Pearce-Paul, though, he's been immense. It feels like he's just turning the dial up and up and up. Let's hope. I know it's sad that we're going to be losing him, but let's send him out in a high. Let's string some really good football games. We want to see more and more highlights. We've only started seeing some highlight packages from your boy Kai Pearce-Paul. Let's hope that really, really continues with another really strong performance this week. Matty Croker. So Matty Croker, of all the young forwards, he has the highest tackle efficiency. I think it's like a 94.7. It's a pretty good lock and shit down in the middle there. Brodie Jones quite high as well. They're going to have a job on their hands. Again, the starting forward packs are actually pretty evenly matched. You might be thinking, oh, fuck, these boys are young. Well, looking across at our opposition, they're kind of young too. The bench is a little bit different, but the starting forwards, I feel like we're pretty on par. We're pretty on par in that regard. But Phoenix Crossland at 13. Now, basically, you know what you're going to get from Phoenix, don't you? He's going to attack his rugby league dick off. And AOB needs as much experience as he possibly can out there. It just is what it is. Again, Tyson Frizzell, concussion. Leo out, serving suspension. The sweet potato, bicep. Jack Hetherington still a week away. Jay Saff a week away. Christ, who else am I missing? It's just a fucking long list. And I just feel like you need as much experience in there. He's going to be a guy. One thing he's really, really good at is setting that line speed and that real enthusiasm of defense. Just lean into that. If he's just going to be that guy, I'm sure Adam O'Brien's like, mate, all I need you to do is just set that shit and just be that starch in the middle of the field. Fucking tackle your rugby league dick off and just set some really, he can attack with his defense. He's got that shit in him, Phoenix. So I'm pretty certain that's why he would have plugged him in there and just brought in young Matty Arthur, just purely just to get some experienced heads in there and just defensively to lock that shit up. So I think he'll do a job there. Not really much to say regarding, I think, the Roosters. Again, a couple of big names out for them. Angus Crichton and Lindsay Smith away in Origin jersey. Victor Radley, we all know what Victor's like. There's going to be a really, really fun battle, actually, between those two guys in the middle there in the lock forward position. Let's move along to the bench. Now, young Matty Arthur will find his second NRL appearance for the Newcastle Knights this weekend. Tommy Cant, Jermaine McEwen, and your boy Elijah Salse Limuana will make his return once more off the bench. Moving along to the Roosters, you have Sandor Smith taking that vacated spot by Connor Watson. So Sam Walker's come back. They've taken him, obviously, out of the halves for Sam Walker, plonked him in that 14 jersey, vacated by Connor Watson. Zach Docker-Clay will come in for Spencer Leniu. Blake Steep and Nat Butcher comes in after returning from a knee injury also. So Roosters getting a couple back there. Now, we talked about inexperience a couple of weeks ago with the Newcastle Knights having about 150-odd game experience off the bench. This week, that is plummeted. 21 games of NRL experience in the Newcastle Knights bench this week. That's an average on 5 per player. Very young. Very, very young. Very inexperienced bench. But like what I was saying with Jackson Hastings, he's played with these guys more than our first grade squad. So who better to try and get him into the game? He knows their strengths. He knows their weaknesses, all that stuff. So I think having Jacko out there will only help them. He's their captain in New South Wales Cup. There is a familiar voice, all that stuff. I really do.
Sorry, Lincoln. Joshua said it's Lindsay Collins.
Oh, what did I say? Lindsay Smith. Sorry, no, not Lindsay. Sorry. Sandor Smith is filling in for, yes, I was getting my Smiths and Connors mixed up. Sorry, you got me there. What was I saying? Sorry. I was on a heater there. Oh, that's what I say. Yeah, Jackson Hastings, bringing these guys in. So again, the commanding voice, they all know. They're all just I think they're going to feel more at ease with Jacko out there. He's their halfback, their captain, New South Wales Cup. He's going to be that same cool head out in the field this week. So I really wanted to stress that point. I know it's a young team, but you got their captain, the guy that's played with them more so. It's not like you're chucking in a fresh batch of guys going into a starting team that they've never kind of played with before. So not really much to talk about really with the I feel like with the Roosters, Sandor Smith, a pretty handy player, but yeah, again, missing Connor Watson and Spencer Leniu, real good impact off the bench for them. They're going to be sorely missed for the Roosters this week. But yeah, so to kind of wrap everything up, really, it's just this week has to be Jackson Hastings' team in Roosters. Terrible at completion, so we kind of got that on them, and they do leak points. So if we can play like we did in the second half against the Seagulls, there could be an absolute blowout. I feel like if the Seagulls couldn't contain us, well, I feel like the Roosters leak. They might even leak more points. I haven't sort of seen the for and against, but I feel like there could be some points scored here. Again, Rooster spine could be incredibly clunky. You might find, Sammy Walker, they're all raving about Sammy Walker. He had a pretty good outing in New South Wales Cup, so that's why they brought him back in. But, it's very unlikely you would feel like he sort of hits the ground running. I hope I don't have to eat my words on that one. See, people might be sitting back and clip this up later and go, fucking, especially the Roosters supporter going, you idiot, Linc. But yes, and as I said, that player battle, which I didn't even get to, bring up the player battle between our boy. Did you bring that up? I wasn't even paying attention, Lou.
What was that?
The player battle. I didn't even get to that. I was so fucking busy. I was in my own head there. The player battle between Mark Nwanga and young Fletcher Hunt. This is the one to look out for. As I said, you got the Roosters funneling and scoring most of their tries down that right edge. And you got, again, they're probably Trent Robinson's looking at. You got G-Train and you got, young Fletcher Hunt. They're probably going to target the fucking shit out of him. And they know what Greggy's like under the high ball. So they're probably going to try and isolate him. Let's hope Fletch does a job there. And again, we all know the aerial prowess. So we could see one of the battles for the ages here. The two young up-and-coming NRL stars of the game. These guys have dominated, all the bloody highlight package reels at the moment with some of the plays they've come up with. So that is going to be my player battle heading into this week's game. All right, let's do it. Let's take a look at this week's Lock It In. Start firing them in, battlers. It's time for Lock It In, brought to you by Grain-Fed Brewery. The beer brewed tough, just like your game day calls. Whether you're backing in the boys for a big win or predicting a masterclass from your favorite player, make sure you've got a cold Grain-Fed in hand. Bold flavors, bold predictions. Lock it in with Grain-Fed. All right, let me give you mine this week. Cat 1, your boy, Jackson Hastings. 2 try assists, and that rolls right into the next one. 2 tries for your boy, the flying mullet, Fletcher Hunt. As I said before, go back and watch some of the highlight packages between these two in New South Wales Cup. They have a thing going on, and they're bringing it the first grade battlers, so lock that shit in. Cat 2, you got the Knights completing at 75%. Got to get that up. I'd like it higher, but I'm going to be conservative. We're going to go 75. And the Knights to make 15 offloads. Going to get back to average. Been a bit down lately. Bit of second phase play. Let's lean into that a little bit. Cat 3, I've got the Knights winning both halves. And I've also got the Knights winning 1-12. Again, if we can keep that momentum, keep that energy up that we had in the second half. As I said, I put out the graphic. Let's hope that booing at halftime for the Newcastle Knights, that was absolute rock bottom. The only way is up. It's the big reset. I'm calling it like what's his name? Christian Welsh. Christian Welsh back in 2013 going, how the fuck did the Newcastle Knights lose to that fucking Panthers team? I'm calling it. That's going to be the moment. We'll all look back at it and go, that was it. When the Battlers booed off the Knights and they just came back and got their season on track. Calling it now. All right, let's take a look at some of the battlers lock-it-ins. What do we got here? All right, Christopher. He's got Lucas and Tupou anytime try scorer. As I said, super reliable Anthony Tupou for the Roosters. He's got the Knights to make 1,800 to 1,900 run meters. One thing we absolutely do dominate the Roosters in is run meters. They're not great at the run meters compared to us. The Roosters can see 8 or 9 penalties, and he's also got the Knights won the 12. Knights to win the second half. Fuck yeah, Chris. Love the enthusiasm, brother. What else we got? Justin. Side note too, sorry, Ballas, I've been absolutely fucking flat out. I'm going to get your lock-it-in tallies to you too. I know you're keen as fuck for those. I haven't forgotten about you. I've just been super busy. He's got a Hunt hat trick. Fuck yes. Wouldn't that be a sight, hey? Jacko will be well and truly on fire then. G-Train to score a double. Shit, that left edge. 5 tries on the left edge alone. Nice. Knights to complete at 80%. Knights to make 10 line breaks. Absolutely. I'm assuming it's going to be along that left edge. It's going to be torching the shit out of the Roosters. Knights to win both halves. Knights 13 plus. Fuck yeah. Justin. Wow, for a guy that was down the dumps and, some of the hotline calls you relieved us, mate. You've made a miraculous turnaround, pal. Love it. Brendan, lock it in. Dom Young to join the Sheds at full time. How do you reckon that actually plays out? Do you honestly think there's a spare seat at the bus, there's an extra plane ticket? Like, how does that work? Like, surely you just bounce straight after the game, right? Does he just do like his warm down and all the physio with our blokes? I can't see why you would bother going back to the Rooster Sheds. That would be weird, right? Like, it's pretty much, I don't know how like the ins and outs of those sort of contract things work, but you would just assume soon as it's full time, you go, yeah, fuck this shit. Take it off. See you, boys. I'm going back to Newey. Jam it up, yeah. Anyways, wait and see. Matthew Davison. Jackson Hastings, 2 try assists. Fuck yeah, mate. Oh, Matthew, did you have that before about half an hour ago before I just gave you the great fucking Jackson Hastings talking of all time? I bet you didn't, hey? Be honest. Fletcher Hunt, 2 or more tries. Yeah, well, I think I've got to bar that from now on. Everyone's just going fucking razor 2 or more tries. Knights 381 to 390 total tackles. Knights 11 to 12 offloads. He's also got the Knights 1 to 12. And what's that there? Knights to score first try. I'm with you, mate. Nice fire start. Keep that energy going from the second half of the Seagulls. All right, what have we got? One more. Is there one more? Marky Mark bundled over the sideline twice. Well, he does have a shitload of errors. I did that have in my notes. He does have an error in him. I don't think that counts. Well, doesn't count as an error. What did I have actually for Mark Nawanga-Nitawase? 3rd highest in the NRL. There you go. So
Tony said someone should give Dom a night shirt straight after the game. Or he just rips the shirt and he's got it underneath.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, someone must have is going to AI that. Just that torn shirt coming back. Tell you what, it's going to be so weird. It's going to be so weird talking about Dom once more. It's going to be. I tell you what, Sue's going to love listening to the United podcast once more. She's going to go, these fucking Roosters podcasts. Fuck that. Come back where the getting's good, Sue. Hey, come back where the greatest supporter base on the planet. Great lock-it-ins. Battlers love it. All right, let's move along to your burning questions brought to you by Get Out Alive Fire Safety Training. You work in a business, Battlers, chances are you are not prepared for fire or emergency. So make sure you get in contact with Get Out Alive Fire Safety Training for all your plans, procedures, anything like that. Get in contact with them because if you do not learn, you will burn. All right, what have the Battlers got this week?
Cameron's asked, do you think the boos have been the reason for these big changes?
Yeah, now look, I did hear, I can't remember where I heard it from, that if someone in the comment section was at the game, please confirm this for me because I do need to know. Apparently the boos were coming when Adam O'Brien's face appeared on the big screen. Can we clear that up? Was it for the boys playing poorly in the first half, or was it as soon as Adam O'Brien's face came on the big screen? I need to know. But regardless, absolutely, it's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that happens and they come out totally different. Well, let's be honest. Being booed by your own faithful at home has got to sting more than any other fucking rev up you'll get from a coach at halftime. Surely. Because they know. The players know. You know, they get these old boys come in and talk about the Newcastle Knights and all that. They're educated. They know what it means to this team. They know. So I genuinely do feel like, yes, that would have stung. It would have hurt, but it's what they needed. How many times have I said, give the Newcastle Knights a crowd they need? Not the one they want, the one they need. And you heard it. You know, sometimes tough love is the right love. So, yeah, absolutely. We got a response from them.
Tony's asked, have we ever been so light on front rowers at this stage of the season?
Nah, as I said, mate, I put out the call. I said, if you're over 100 kegs and you can truck nut and run it off the back fence, send your resume to Adam O'Brien and Peter O'Sullivan. Mate, we are decimated. Absolutely decimated. Yeah, we're really reaching on. I even heard there was some yarn about young Mason Teague, the guy that we got from the Dolphins in the trade we did with young Sewer. He was a possibility also of coming in. But, yeah, much why the reason you just got to keep guys like Phoenix Crossland and that out there. It's just you got to do what you got to do in this scenario. But, yeah, geez, we've been pounded. Geez, the cavalry can't arrive soon enough. And just how much does that hurt losing Leo? Those 4 weeks, I know, is such a dumb crusher tackle. He'd be absolutely filthy with himself, given, you know, how many players we're missing. But, yeah, the next week or two is going to bring back some welcome faces into the side, mate. So, but with that being said, let's hope the young guys do a good job too. Let's not write them off. I feel like we can lean into some real youthful exuberance and play with a bit of a up-tempo and just enjoy their footy. We can get them. We can get them.
Lindsay's come back with a comment saying there were boos before AOB was on the screen, got a bit louder or had gained momentum when AOB was on the screen. Supporters booing isn't showing support.
Oh, mate, I respectfully disagree because it's the old saying. What's the old saying? Without us, they will. What's it? Without them. Oh, I fucking butchered this. Anyways, there's a great saying about without your crowd, you'll never be. Without the battlers sitting out there and paying their hard earned and all your members and all that stuff, you don't have a fucking team. So, and, you know, again, they were staring straight down the barrel at 5 games straight losing. I'd understand. I completely understand if, you know, if it was a one-off game, you're playing poorly or even a couple and, you know, they were trying their guts out. But, mate, they just had nothing to get excited about. And I'm sure the players wouldn't be sitting there, and I don't think they would be feeling angry at the supporters. I think they would kind of, in a way, I think they would thank them for doing what they did. There's like a big reality check, just to stare down the face. It's one thing to sort of do stuff behind closed doors and training and video sessions, but when you're out in the coal face of it all and you've just got fucking 15, 16, 17,000 odd battlers just fucking booing you in the cold on a Thursday night, paying their fucking hard-earned to be there, I think it's just a massive slap in the face and just to go, nah, no more. This is it. So respectfully, I have to disagree. I think you are allowed to boo. I'm not a booer myself. I'll boo the opposition, but you guys all know I'm a glass half full, fucking rose-colored glasses kind of a bloke.
You jokingly boo.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I'm too much of a hype man. I think I found my fucking niche. I think I'm an NRL fucking hype man. Get me in there to G the boys up. But yes. But interesting to hear it actually ramped up. There was a little bit of booze, but then Adam O'Brien was the fuel in the fire to really fucking set him off. Jason's asked, where is Bradman Beast? What's the weapon? When's the weapon back, mate? Ooh, good question. I know that they were saying that JSAF and Hetherington were a week away, but Adam O'Brien did say he could have played Bradman, but erred on the side of caution. And thank Christ he did. Because much like Jacko's last game for us, that Broncos game, Brady backed up from Origin, if you remember, and then he played all of fucking 5-10 minutes and he was off the field. So hamstrings, just forget it. It was the old saying with hamstrings, if you think it's good, leave it another week. Like Dylan Lucas's hamstring, you know, thank Christ that's given him no issues. It's just the hamstring injuries are one of the worst because they can just reoccur. Like look at Tom Trbojevic, for example. Don't want to go down that garden path. Want to make sure he's 100% Mickey Mouse before bringing him back. So I think Adam O'Brien made a good call there. Park the beast in the garage and unleash him next week. Andrew said,
So Dom Young definitely back at Newcastle Knights after this weekend. Haven't really heard much more about it.
Yeah, that, as I said, nothing 100% concrete confirmed, but there's so much smoke around this. It has to be true. It has to be true. Surely. Surely there's going to be far more commentary. I think it's just once the Blues absolutely pound the Queenslanders into the core of the earth, and that's all done and dusted, I think the Roosters want to get past this period, and I think it's just because he's playing against us. If they're probably playing other teams, they probably wouldn't they would have relinquished him by now. But I think they obviously don't want to give us the leg up, so they've chosen this round as his last one. Oddly enough, but yeah, I think it will, man. There's been so much noise around it. I'd be highly doubtful it would remain at the Roosters. And they're stacked out there, dude. They're absolutely full strength. Dom Young's not in that team anymore. With Marky Mark and Rob Toyer now, like, bruh, they're killing it out there. So
Matthew's got a good take. We have to pick the best, but also the guys like McCarthy and Hunt who can be a big part of the future long term.
yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I'm hoping I can start to show some battlers how good Kyle McCarthy is. As I said, a raging Moses Sully, fucking ran 200 of the best a couple of weeks ago. Your boy Kyle McCarthy fucking locked shit up. 21 tackles, 1 missed. I thought he was sensational. Really, really good. I've always liked what I've seen from young Kyle McCarthy. And yeah, there's just a great crop. I know the silver lining, I know I'm a big silver linings guy, but, you know, the one good thing is you can look at is the young guys coming through fucking do a good job. They do a good job. Razor, Fletcher Hunt, you know, Kyle McCarthy's been another good one. Yeah, there's a really good crop of talent coming through. So, yeah, do you know what I do want to hear? I want to hear some news regarding this extension for Fletcher Hunt. So you can bet your fucking ass that'll be coming any day. There'll be a brand new contract for that boy waiting there. Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Nico's asked, what do you think of that Telstra ad? Drives me
Oh,
crazy.
bruh. Yeah, bleach my eyes. It's fucked. It's
Mean
terrible.
ears.
I reckon Telstra know it's shit. I reckon it's not meant to be an ad that's meant to be well received, and it's kind of working. We're all talking about it. It was such a good ad. It's pissing everyone off. It's annoying the shit out of us.
Like how that certain coffee shop always spells your name wrong on purpose.
Yeah. Perfect example. Yes. It's clever marketing. I reckon they know it's infuriating. We all have the shits with it. And yeah, that's why they're doing it. It's working. It's working for Telstra.
Mix asks, so if Jacko has a good game, do you think AOB will be obliged to keep him in the starting side?
Oh, I don't think he will, mate. I think you're going to have Razor straight back there. Bray. I just gut feeling tells me no. I don't think they will. But if he absolutely comes out and kills it and really unlocks some of these other guys, like he should absolutely be in the conversation. I just feel like unless it's absolute dire straits, like we find ourselves in, there's no way for Jacko to get in. Like they're going to pick Tyson Gamble and other players before him, which sucks. Which really sucks. We just got to play the best players we can week in, week out. I think Jackson's one of them. I've always defended Jackson Hastings, but yeah, I don't know. My heart's saying yes, but my head is thinking, yeah, I don't think they will, but I would love for that to be the case. If he comes and absolutely fucking dominates, yeah.
James has asked, what's going to happen with Hunt when Best is back? Could use the aerial threat.
Yeah, well, I think what you will find, shit, that's a tough one, man, because, yeah, you're a bit spoiled. It may just be a great depth signing for a bit to learn his trade, because I feel like they're going to be playing Dom. There's no way they're going to be moving heaven and earth and making all these deals to go get Dom to sit in Reggie's. No, I think Dom's going to want to come play fucking Reggie's for the Roosters and then move across and play Reggie's for the Knights. So I'm thinking that, you know, he's going to be brought back in there immediately to try and spark, you know, reinvigorate that 2023 Dominic Young, because that back line's unchanged for 23. For the rest of the season, it's completely and utterly unchanged. You know, G-Train, Best, KP, Gags, Dominic Young, all the pieces are pretty much, you know, they're all there. The only real difference on that right edge had Tyson Frizzell, who's shifted into the middle now, but apart from that, unchanged. So Fletcher Hunt, yeah, it's just going to be a guy that developed really well. You know, we talk about Anari Ferrari is a prime example of a guy you plug in. Hopefully, he's a guy we develop really well, but it's going to put pressure on positions. Like, how many other clubs do you see where a young guy comes through and pushes out the starter? That's what you want. What's the old saying? Iron sharpens iron. I don't know what it's going to be in future. He might have a really big off season and really put some pressure on Dom. Who knows? But it's a fucking good problem to have. It's absolutely a good problem to have.
Justin's asked, with the noise coming out that Storm are looking to sign up their spine long-term contract, should the Knights make another play for Pezant?
Pezant? No, I don't think so. No, I think we tried enough. I'm happy to move on. You've got Fletch there, who I'm still yet to get a message from anyone to tell me why Fletcher Sharp can't develop into a quality halfback. Still yet to get one. I think he's going to be in the plans a long time. Dylan Brown's obviously in the plans for a long time. I think that ship sailed, dude. We were looking to sign Pezant before the Brown thing came along. So I think he's suffered another knee. I don't think it was an ACL, but I think he re-injured or something's going on there. So I'm pretty sure that would have cooled off from that. I think that ship sailed. The Knights are moving in a different direction from Pezant.
All right, last one.
What do we got?
From Ivan, is it true that Toby Ston might play for the Knights?
Ooh, I haven't heard that one. I'll tell you what, if it was a little mid-season signing and you wanted an out-and-out 7 playing some good footy that was cheap, yeah, fuck it. Why not? It's something we could add into the mix. I don't know about long-term, but yeah, Toby Sexton, good player. He's definitely improved under the Bulldogs. Titans, Toby Sexton, I would have been keen on, but at the Doggies, he's come leaps and bounds. So maybe. Toby Sexton's the Knights. Fucking stranger things have happened, dude. Stranger things have happened.
Before you move on, Lincoln, I just need to give out a special shout out.
Oh, yes.
Even though she's a filthy Broncos supporter, I'd love to give my cousin a happy 40th birthday. Alicia, I hope you've had a great day.
There you go, Alicia. You've had well, let's hope you have a terrible... Who the Broncos play this week? I don't care to learn who the Broncos play. Hope they ruin your weekend.
Oh, no.
Alicia, but yeah, shout out to you. She's get this, Battler. She was born in Newcastle. She doesn't have a Castro and goes to the Broncos. Jeez. Wow. Some people make some really poor life choices, don't they, Battlers? They really do. All right, Battlers, as I said before, if you're liking the show or even if you fucking hate it, I tell you what you're going to do. You're going to go smash that like and subscribe button like a bloody Broncos 5'8" hitting an Uber. And you're going to follow, like, subscribe, share all over whatever social media platforms you waste your time on. I guarantee you, your boy Linc is there waiting for you. So make sure you go follow us on all those. If you're watching this live stream, give it a big old thumbs up. Trust me, it takes 2 fucking seconds, you lazy bastards. Just go down there and click that fucking thumbs up button so more Battlers can find us, all right? Get more and more in here. More and more, the better. And as I said before, if you want to go on the running, this here, all right? You get your boys giving away the jersey, jersey, the grand final T-shirt, and the Premier's 1997 Premier shirt. So you're still in that winning mood.
There was a comment earlier saying, how do we buy them? We don't buy them. It's a giveaway.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah. Oh, how did I buy them? Or how did I get my hands on them? Maybe is that what they meant?
No.
Oh, yeah, you can't. That's what I'm saying. This is what makes this giveaway so good because they are some of the most revered rugby league merchandise you can get your hands on. And these things, I'm telling you, are Mickey Mouse. They're not like fucking, they don't look like as old as they are. They look fucking brand new, fresh as. So good luck finding quality Newcastle Knights gear that good. Telling you about it. So first thing, you're going to go find our new YouTube, go subscribe there, go find us on Spotify, follow us there, and then leave us a big old 5-star review. It's that easy. That easy. And then I'll be drawing that this time next week. All right. So you got a week. Get it done. Get it done. Also, too, if you didn't see and you didn't know, now you know, I've got the ever incredible Retro Rugby League and your boy Hainsey coming in here for the New South Wales Blues stream team. That's right. We're going to be watching Game 2 right in here as the New South Wales Blues absolutely blow Billy Slater's Queensland Maroons to smithereens. No Knights watch this week. I'm actually going to be on a Bucks night, so I'm going to be watching that game at the Star Casino in Brisbane. So, unfortunately, your boy's going to be away on best man duties this week, but that's okay. I'm going to be watching the game from the Star Casino, but you're still going to get your Match Rewind show after that, battlers. And a huge shout out to our girls too. The trial match. What day was that? I think it was Sunday. First trial match for our NRLW squad. So make sure if you haven't got anything on, go check that out. Barstool TV, I think you can go stream it there. But yes, battlers, huge shout out for everyone for tuning in for this week's roster review. As I said, brought to you by our great mates at ABC Developments. Again, if you're building something brand new or fixing up your beautiful home, get in contact with ABC Developments because they will go above and beyond for you and will not drop the ball. Well, battlers, I'm getting the Adam O'Brien out of here. See you next time.